Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Teachers Mastermind, your online business group. So, hello, ladies. How you doing?
Great. It's great to see you.
Good.
Good. Awesome. Let's see. Let's go around, just introduce ourselves really quick, and then we will introduce Machelle in the hot seat today. All right. So, Mary, could you go first?
Yeah, I'm Mary Mapel. I live in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia and was an online VIP kid teacher for 4+ years and miss my little kiddos right now, but continuing to be in touch with a few of them. So that's great.
Awesome. And Rebekah, want to let us know a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am a mom of 2.5 because I have one on the way. It's like I have a kid right now, but I've taught VIP kid for 5 years, out of school for 2 years. I taught in the kindergarten classroom itself for 5 years prior to being an online teacher. So I've done a whole bunch of different things throughout my career.
Awesome. I don't think I ever really introduced myself. So before I introduce you to Machelle, I'm going to let you guys know who I am. I am Kasie, aka Teacher Kasie or Mrs. Oswald. I taught in Japan for about 6 years, taught English there, live classes, mostly one-on-ones, like over 40 students a week. It was so much fun. And then we moved to Germany and I became a kindergarten teacher there for 8 years. And I've been teaching online for 3 years. And yes, I was an aide before that. Like, so I've been in the school. So a little bit about me. All right, Machelle, how are you?
I am doing well.
Good. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I live in South Dakota, and prior to moving to South Dakota, I taught in public school for almost 10 years. And when we moved to South Dakota, I was a stay-at-home mom, and then found VIP Kid and have been teaching for I did teach for VIP Kid for about 3 years. And now have one private student and looking for many more.
Yay. Awesome. Awesome. So I'm going to read your hot seat questionnaire really quick. Is that okay with you, Machelle?
Yeah.
All right. So she had filled out, it's easy, guys. Rebekah's been in the hot seat. Michelle's now in it. All you do is fill out a form. Basically, what type of teacher are you? Online, reading, early childhood. And then what would you like us to mastermind around your business? And this is Michelle's answer. She said, how to obtain more students after losing most to companies closing, and what social media outlets should I be using and putting energy into? Do I take things a different route and create materials to sell? So I loved her answer there. There's a whole bunch of things there, Machelle, that we can chat about today. So awesome. And she did mention at the bottom, there's like a comments or question section. And she did mention that she's willing to put in the work for these things. So I think we are willing to help you build your business.
So I have a question, Machelle. So
Yes.
are you working with VIP Kid Global, or are you looking for support as an independent teacher? Like, what is it that you're looking for right now?
I have my global contract signed and I open slots every week, but I have not ever gotten any students. I would prefer to go independent just simply for the money aspect of it, because the global is so low of pay. But I would love to see my students if I could get them back.
I know, right? We're all like, we need to start a where is my student group or something.
Are
we are attached
on global to teach our Chinese students again?
You can open classes there. I haven't gotten any bookings from there.
But China can take classes.
They do tell teachers, go ahead and refer their past students. And then if the parents want to figure out a way, they can figure out a way.
Yeah. So some have figured out a way and some reach out to us on like LinkedIn. Yeah, right. Okay, so last week we talked a lot about marketing, which was Rebekah's question. So I didn't want to bombard you all with the same type of things. So if you haven't seen that one, you might want to go back and watch that one. We're keeping these to 30 minutes. So it is all about marketing and talking about organic marketing. So I wanted to touch on the question about social media and getting more students. I think an important thing for getting more students would be niching. So we talk about niching down. I think when parents are looking for teachers, oftentimes they just see a profile, right? And if it says early childhood and that's all they're getting, well, do you love teaching reading? Do you love teaching math? So maybe you can be the STEM teacher in early childhood, or maybe you can, you can niche down and really put out your passions, because I think people will feel that from you. If you're passionate, it's in your writing, they can see it on your face, and you're not just an early childhood or just a high school teacher or just. You are this specific teacher for this kind of student. That's just my thoughts. So
yeah, I think
Rebekah?
you can mention that and say, I specialize in math and science for the younger elementary ages, but I love teaching all of these, and I can teach all the way up to 8th grade or whatever. That way they'll see that you are wide range, but you do have a specialty. So I think both would be helpful.
Yeah. Mary, what do you think?
I really like finding what you're most passionate about and putting energy there, because it'll get you excited to know what it is you want to teach. And then, like we were talking before we started about profiles and little video clips or things like that, that will then attract those particular students. So I really like the niche, but at the same time, what Rebekah was saying is that broad, like sometimes parents want to know that their student can grow with you. So you don't want to just be narrowed in, but speak your most passionate stuff, and then what I can do.
I think lately I've been changing my mind a little bit with it, because I feel like putting everything out there, like I can teach math. My master's degree is in teaching mathematics, but I have no want, you know what I mean, to do it. So I'm not going to list that, because every time I list it, someone asks me to tutor their kid in math. So, but
yeah.
I like math for the younger grades, don't get me wrong. But I just feel like teachers, right, or parents right now are just seeing so many of us teaching whatever, right? But I feel like when they are searching, when they are using their keywords and they are searching for teachers, they are searching for these specialties, things that we can offer them.
Yeah, I agree, because I'm a parent as well of a kindergarten. I've been on these like teacher tutoring websites just to see, should I apply to this place or not? Let's just see what's out there. And when you're going through a sea of 100 teachers, everybody can teach everything. How do you choose a teacher? I want somebody who maybe specializes in kindergarten or early beginning reading readiness or something. I don't want to have like, I can teach K through 8. Well, are you better with the 8th graders? Are you better with the kindergartners? Like, I want somebody who's good for my kid. So yeah, parents are going to be very specific, because you can get lost in the sea of, I can do anything. Right. Oh, it's pretty face. I mean, what are they looking for after that?
Also, I think what we did that was great with VIP Kid is we had our little intro video. So is there a way to market yourself with an example that shows your tone, your energy, your classroom? Like, what is it that you can show that's more than just the written word?
Well, I think that's where your profile comes in. That's where your social media comes in. I was talking to my friend and coach Jennifer today, and she actually was mentioning she was looking up a teacher, specific type of teacher for her daughter. And, they both had profiles, they both cost the same, but one had like a link to a YouTube and some extra information that she was able to see how he taught, rather than just guessing and seeing a picture and some words. So I thought, there's where the social media comes in. Speaking of Jennifer.
I like trying not to show myself, because I was not cute right now. I've been like working all morning, so I haven't been able to. Well, I'll just add to that. I mean, the
Yeah.
main thing was actually they didn't have the YouTube channel connected. I know it probably got missed in translation, but I wanted it. And as a consumer, I think the thing is that there's so many choices now. Like when you go to all these apps, there's so many choices that the teachers that stand out to me, and I know, I mean, even, I have a lot of friends that are homeschoolers and then they want to get these things online. You guys, social media, I swear, this is like the thing I think everybody has to start figuring out when they have anything that they're doing, that people are having to do online, is you have to have some kind of social media presence or have somewhere that you really are, that people can find you and they know that you're active, that you're showing yourself, that they can see you. I think we went to a huge marketing conference. It's a world marketing, it's like a global marketing conference. And one of the big things that they talked about, two things. One is people are looking for people that can create. It's just naturally what's happening to us now because of social media. The other thing is we're looking for community. So if you can show that you're building community, that you're part of community, and a lot of times that's why, it's just kind of like we've just created this monsters inside of us, honestly, and there's no really looking back now. It is what it is. Like we either have to accept it or we're gonna just shrink. And so marketing is social media. That is part of where you have to have some kind of presence as a teacher now to get more students. Anybody now to get more clients has to be on social media. It's just part. It sounds horrible to say like an absolute like that, but it is just what it is now. Like it just is. So
awesome. So that was one of Michelle's question. We had talked a little bit about it when I talked to her on a Zoom about social media. And her question was, should she try them all, pick one? And I'm like, just one. If you try them all, it's going to drive you crazy. So
right, yeah, it's gonna wear you out. Pick one and stick with it, and make sure that you post things that are parent friendly. A lot of us are on Facebook, and so we post things to our friends, and so they're not going to be seen by some stranger public ones. So just make sure that your public ones are not too political, too controversial, because parents might see this, go, I don't know if I want this person as my teacher, if they're all just seeing like, the post. So make sure that, maybe do incognito and look to see what does your profile look like to somebody who's not your friend on Facebook or Instagram or wherever your social media platform is, and say, would I book myself based on what I see about this character?
Yeah. Let's face it, parents are going to go and look you up the minute they find out your kid or their kid is in your class, or they're looking to take classes and they're like, oh, I think I'm going to check out, Teacher Mary. What does she have? And then they're going to go look up everything you have. So I agree with Rebekah. Yeah, Jennifer.
I'm not going to be able to be on too long. So I just want to share one more thing about this. Again, just from our experience, just helping a lot of people marketing and having to do a lot of research and a lot of that. I would definitely pick one mainly. And I know Kasie obviously is really good at, YouTube has been the place that she's been living and she understands it and she knows how to do things there. I totally recommend talking to her for real, because I know YouTube is probably for teachers is probably a bigger one where teachers are going to just Google or, and usually that'll come to the top. And at the same time, I would recommend pulling in another social media somewhere. So whether it's TikTok, Instagram, and the only reason I would do it is to start putting your stories up. So whether it's TikTok, you're doing videos because people are looking at TikTok. It's actually one of the most searched up there at the top, most searched of anything right now. It's crazy. Yeah. And you're looking at stories. So stories is an interesting one. Either you're doing it on Facebook or on Instagram. You want to keep your stories going even more so than your posts right now, because stories is where people are going to start knowing you and you're going to get people that aren't friends. They're pushing you out now to strangers, right? So the more you put your stories every day, doing something every single day, pick one platform. The great thing about Facebook and Instagram is that it can post.
You can link.
Yeah.
Right. So it's so easy. So that's what I would be thinking is social media for anybody that's watching this too. And for you that are doing it, is YouTube to me seems like a no-brainer for teachers. We don't do a lot of YouTube, but I just know from hearing about it in the marketing world and also from Kasie. And then the other thing is just do your stories somewhere and make sure you're doing that. Yeah.
Question about stories. So are there specific tips you would have about creating the story? Like, how long is it? What should she be showing?
So I'll just throw this out to you guys, like stories, from what I've learned, and just again, from the beauty of what I've done is I had a lot of money to be able to spend on people that knew what the freak they were doing. So then I get to pass it out to our clients. So the one big thing is you just got to do it. Literally the most important thing on stories is to do a story every single day. So it isn't even about what you're doing exactly. It's just that people see you, and then they will it starts pushing you out more, and you get more movement and followers. But video is always going to be, you guys, anybody that knows me, or Kasie knows, but video is always going to be a benefit. So even doing a 5-second, just little tip, little something that you're sharing about for those consumers, and just throwing that out there. Maybe you can just share a little something that just happened to you today on your, on your teacher platform, something that happened with a kid, something that you love about your kids, something that, there's just so many little things that you can just throw out there. Quick little video. Maybe you're on the computer and you're there online. You're like, I love teaching online. It's so fun. And just pop over to see the screen, stuff like that, just to get people interacting, knowing that you're teaching. You'll start getting more movement from that. So.
And most stories are like 30 seconds to 1 minute long. They're really short. They're bite-sized things. So I get like the more important thing in the first couple of seconds, because I go through stories sometimes, like if I am fading, if the first 10 seconds, I go to the next one. So make sure that it looks interesting. Yeah, the beginning part. But yeah, they're short and sweet, bite-sized. Some people edit, some people don't, to get it down to like, short and sweet.
And they're coming up all the time. Like every time I'm on Facebook, I see a bunch of stories coming up. So great point, Jennifer. Thank you. I know you gotta go, but I appreciate you coming on here and chatting.
Thanks, you guys. I'll be watching. Thanks for letting me on for a minute. I'm so excited you guys are doing this. I just think it's so good. Hopefully more and more people hear it, and you guys are telling friends. And I think the more people you guys have on the mastermind, it's going to be just keep the movement going. So anyway, thanks for letting me on.
Thank you. All right. Hey, Brooke is here. And Brooke said on Insta, is it better to do stories or reels if you can't do both? Anybody have input
what
on that
I
one?
know from the limited Facebook thing is that stories, like when I look at people's stories, they're my friends. I see my friends' stories. When I look at reels, they're strangers. They're these big hot shots with 1 million followers or thousands of followers. And so they're strangers that I get to see what's going on in their lives, or their funny music thing or whatever. But the stories that are at the top, those are just my friends. So I would do both. If you want to just go to your friends, put it up there, those are 20 seconds maximum. If you want to reach outside and reach strangers, anybody on Facebook publicly, then I would do the reels. And maybe you could do one video and post it both. Double dip a little bit.
Right. We talked about last week, repurposing your content. Now, Brooke, I know you are big on YouTube as well. So taking a clip from your YouTube and adding it to your story or your reel, that may help you be able to be in both places at once, so to speak. So I apologize for me having to run into another room. It said my connection was unstable and the router's in this room. So it was a chaotic choice I had to make. All right. So Machelle, so far we talked about social media. Have you thought about one that you're more interested in, or?
No, right now, I am on Facebook, obviously, but I don't honestly do a lot with it other than research and find groups and gain information and, ultimately give information in the groups. So I don't actually, going back to when parents are searching for you, they won't really find anything on me because I don't really post anything.
Right. And so
go ahead.
Sorry. That's what we're going to change a little bit, right? Because we want teachers to be able to, or parents to be able to find their teachers. So especially in this group, we're going to start talking about putting your profile out there, putting yourself out there. We'll talk about SEO and search. How can parents search for classes? So go ahead.
I am on WeChat.
Mm-hmm.
just because I was hoping to gain a bunch more students back from that I did have on VIP Kid. And I do have one student. So I created a group within WeChat, and I've been posting a few things on there, but then
Okay.
I only have one person in my group right now. I'm hoping that she can invite her friends, just because obviously they
Right.
can't search for you.
So have you asked her to invite friends?
I did, but I had posted several things and she joined. So then I started posting things and there was like nothing. So I asked her, if she would invite her friends, and I haven't heard anything from that. But just this past Monday when I put up, we got chickens at our house and my kids are super excited, and we've never had any pets
Love
other
it.
than fish. So I posted a picture of my baby chicks and I just did a little audio. It was like 5 seconds. And I said, baby chickens are called chicks, because we had been talking in one of our lessons about the adult and the baby names.
Yeah.
And she actually repeated it back to me in a little voice memo on Tuesday. So I was like super excited. So maybe now she'll start inviting her friends. I don't know, but.
Are any other teachers besides me just think about the lesson, chickens aren't the only ones? No, nobody else thought about that? Okay, you'll all have to look it up. It's a book and there's a whole lesson on chickens aren't the only ones. So I'll leave that for you guys for homework. But as you can see, just getting that quick little simple video out there, you got a response, right? You got engagement from it. So I think looking forward to adding more students, you're just gonna have to put yourself out there a little bit. It's intimidating. Those of you that know me from the beginning, I used to get sick before I made a video or before I went live every time. So
here's a question. So do you recommend that she create a business profile and share from that so it's public? Or when she wants it to be shared outside of her friend circle, that she makes the individual post public?
There's a lot of research being done on that. Right now, it doesn't seem like Facebook business pages are getting pushed out very often, especially because they want you to pay for ads and things. So if you have a business, they want you to pay for ads. So I think that's kind of a tricky thing. But when you're getting started, I probably would start with, a group or a profile versus a business page for that reason. They just don't seem to push them out as much as they used to. But reels, I think the reels and the stories and stuff, people are finding like they're quick watches, they're fun, they keep you engaged, right? Rather than just seeing a page. So I think those things are being pushed out all the time. So
would you suggest making like an additional Facebook page? Like if right now, mine is just like my first and last name.
Yeah.
But would you do make another one specifically for teaching and do it like Teacher Machelle or something like that?
I would definitely say that is up to you. You need to look at who's on your Facebook page now. If it is only friends and family, then you might consider opening up another page. Take it from someone that has lots of groups and 2 profiles. I started dwindling them down by a lot. So I would say if you don't have to start over, don't. But if you are one of those people that like separate things to be kept separate, then maybe you want to open up
Just
another
be aware of the search engine. If you're going to have your teacher name to be your first and last name, make it so it's your first and last name on Facebook so they can find you, because there's probably a lot of teacher Michelle's out there, even if you have unique spellings. So you can do like Teacher Machelle and your last name, but you want it to make sure that you're searchable still.
one.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else on that, Mary? Nothing yet? If you think of anything, let me know. One thing I want to mention is stop thinking like the teacher for a minute, right? Which is really hard for some of us to do. We are now the consumers. Think about, what are you looking for? Okay, you're the parent, you are looking for something. What are you looking for? Who are you looking for? Right? If I'm looking for a reading class, I don't want to go into the STEM group, right? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing and am I saying this right? Like, you're the parent now. So before you put all of your stuff out there, what are you looking for? And how are you going to fit into that? So we need to, like, your profile, right? I love exclamation points. I talked to Jen about this too. I love exclamation points, but sometimes parents are like, she's too silly, or I need a stricter person or something. And actually in the classroom, I'm pretty strict. Most of you wouldn't think that, but so look at your profiles. I was going to pull up some profiles we can look at. We might do that on another mastermind, but pull up some profiles, right? I went to OutSchool and I was looking at specific profiles. Look at them. What is catching your eye from them? What are the words they are using? Is there a link that you can click on to find more information about them? Do they have a video? Maybe not on OutSchool, but maybe somewhere else. Like, research some of these things that you are looking for as a parent and put into your own profile. So, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You're all sitting back like,
I often put myself in the parent role. I mean, one, I am a parent, but two, I want to look to see, are my classes looking good as a parent? Would a parent enroll in my classes, or do I look like the sea of masses, everybody else? What makes me unique on whatever platform I am, whether it's VIP Kid, another ESL company, or OutSchool, or independent, or through another tutoring place? Like, how am I going to stand out? So I often go behind the scenes and search like a parent would search to go, okay, would I do that? So it's kind of fun to kind of sneak in the back and see. And I think you've got kids, so you can pretend you are a parent of your kids. What would you book for your kids?
Mm-hmm.
And if you would book somebody else and not you, why? Why is this person so successful? Great. Take tidbits and go, okay, I like their tone. I like the way that they put things. And no copy and paste, but go, okay, what can I learn from this profile? And go, let's make it my own. But I like where they're going from.
Now, I think OutSchool is a little different, because if you go and look at profiles on other companies, you're going to see a whole different thing. OutSchool does a great job of giving us some tools and techniques to look into that, which if you want some, I will send you. I have a little strategy thing that I've been working on to let people know about some tidbits that they can use for their profile and things like that. But yeah,
That would be great.
Yeah, and some places are very formulaic. Now, OutSchool has a lot of freedom, but I know I've looked at some, one-on-one tutoring places just to see, should I apply to this place? And everything is in a box formula, cookie cutter, and you have to fit in that box as a teacher. So you have to be creative within that, itty bitty living space to, shine yourself. And maybe you'll just do a profile picture. You won't have a chance to do video. Sometimes they require video. So I also like to look to see what other tutoring services are there out there, and just to see, competition a little bit. Maybe if you don't want to apply to them, that's fine, but you can see, are they successful on here? Do they have the reviews? If you can post reviews, that's even better, because it shows you that this parent likes me because of this. If I'm going to book a tutor, I'm going to book somebody that has 5 reviews versus 0 reviews, just because I know they've taught.
Right. Now, as an independent teacher, you can always ask for reviews from parents as well. So don't forget to use your resources that you have out there. This group hopefully is one
website,
of them.
Have a place for parents to leave a review. Or if they send you an email saying, hey, I like this class, say, can I post this on my website? Ka-chink. And then say, by the first name, your parent's first name. So that there's a place on your personal website or personal Facebook page, whatever, so people can see this is what a parent thought of me.
Awesome. So how do you feel, Machelle? Did we just throw way too much info at you? Or are you feeling pretty good?
It is a lot of information, but I'm really trying to figure out. I had previously, and I was trying to quickly find it without going back to the very beginning about niching down. At first, when I started doing on WeChat, I teach English to children who struggle with basic reading skills and enhance their vocabulary to use in writing and speech.
Nice.
So that's what I did for there. But, it's hard because that would be the market like in China and over there. But like,
Right.
if I want to do things more in the US, that wouldn't exactly,
Well, I
that may
do.
not work quite
I'm
as
thinking
well.
actually the keyword of reading is actually pretty good in the US, but I wonder if it translates around the world more. If it doesn't translate around the world, you know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
a lot of times on WeChat, they're looking for proper pronunciation and speaking skills. Can you say it one more time?
Yeah. I teach English to children who struggle with basic reading skills and enhance their vocabulary to use in writing and speech.
I like the writing and speech. I like the enhanced vocabulary. Yeah. Mary, what are you thinking? It looks like your wheels are turning.
I like, Kasie, what you said about focusing on proper pronunciation. And I think parents look for that with kids, regardless of what their native language is, because especially the little ones that are needing to learn how to hold their tongue in the correct position or make certain sounds and finding fun ways. So I would add a little personality in there too. Like, it seems really factual, but I want to know a little bit about, like, I have fun teaching, blah, 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 or I like something that gives me a sense of your personality in
Okay.
that paragraph.
And one thing that I've
Awesome.
learned recently, I know we have to go soon, but when you are teaching on these ESL platforms like VIP Kid, we had pre-made curriculum. You just came and you were your personality and you taught the slides. But now we have to come up with our own curriculum. And so parents want to see, can you come up with something where my kid is and push them a little bit further? What kind of lessons do you come up with? What kind of, are there worksheets that go with it? Are there slides that go with it? Is it interactive? You have to think about, okay, not just how do I teach, but what do I want to teach? And it's kind of daunting for us independent teachers now, because like we have to come up with this stuff. So if there's a little, one or two sentences sample of, I will, have a chat with you beforehand to see where your child's at, and I will help them, grow from there, or I use XXX curriculum or whatever it is. You can just kind of, give a little detail about that too.
Awesome. So we didn't touch on your selling of products, but I think that's a pretty neat idea. If you are creative and creating things, there's things like Teachers Pay Teachers and things out there, or if you have a website or something like that, you can offer it on a website, but also you can use your social media. Like, I did this, you know what I mean? And show them, and hey, if you want more, click here. So.
Machelle, did you say you were homeschooling?
Yes.
Like, what about resources for other homeschoolers? To me, like, I unschooled my son all the way through, but I know so many homeschooling parents that are looking for material, and you as a teacher with the homeschool background has a unique way of knowing what kinds of things might be helpful for them. So I like the idea of you thinking about providing resources for homeschoolers as a market that might be less saturated than some of the other places that tons of teachers are going to.
Right. You know what? I just have so many ideas going on in my
I was just
brain
gonna
that
say.
it's just like, I don't, I was talking to somebody recently and I'm like, well, I should try this and try this and try this. She's like, wait, you can't do everything. I'm like, I
was
know,
just
but
gonna
which one do
say.
I pick that will be most successful?
Mhm.
It's
I
hard
think-
to.
How about instead of choosing which one would be most successful, which one sounds more interesting to you, and which one do you feel more passionate about?
Yes.
So maybe we'll leave you with that thought right there.
And which one can you be more consistent with?
And yeah. So awesome, guys. Well, this was an awesome chat today. I appreciate all of you guys coming. If you want more information, just hang out here in this group with us. As always, thank you for coming, Brooke. Brooke has another question. I will go back and answer that question, Brooke. But thank you all. We'll see you all next Thursday.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thanks,
Bye.
Machelle. The hot
You're
seat wasn't
welcome.
so bad, right?
No. Thank you.
Bye.